She felt every bump on her current ride, saw every light change through the window, and took in every bit of debris that came in through the air vents. It was something that was so routine to her, but she had this weird, constant twisting of her gut. She yet again moved around slightly in her seat. Tightening her bun, she readjusted her bangs to the point where it would be impossible for her hair to be out of place. She ignored the constant glances from the driver, the smell of cologne that wafted her way, and the burning metal on her finger. This date night, yet again, it always came around, sweeping her off her feet and thrusting her into a new experience. This time, it was a little restaurant on the beach, which was something that would be a tourist gateway if it was at a nicer shore. It had shellfish, some nicer drinks, a good atmosphere, but even knowing that a reliably nice time sat before her, she still felt apprehension. Something she craved to just knock out of herself. Everything seemed so nice, except for her date. She hated thinking it was just cold feet that she was feeling, which sounded oddly gross. Made her think of childish runaway brides and grooms with mistresses, and while she didn't want to be in that camp, it was the closest way she had thought she could describe it. It was a nagging feeling that made her just want to open that car door and jump out. Part of her that wished one of them would get sick so they would be forced to turn the car around, which would result in them spending less time with each other once they got back. Whatever made her wait for their car to break down and one of her friends being forced to drag them back until it was inevitably fixed again. Her heart hoped that these events would keep happening to the point he leaves her. With all of that, she still felt the frustrating question of why he felt like she was being repelled from him, as he only drew closer to her. The tide seemed to have settled, but she felt like she was drowning in knee-deep waters. Despite their initial hesitation and snide comments, her friends warmed up to him. Nowadays, her father was able to get along with him without trying to scare him off. At last, he was holding down a steady job after what felt like ages. He never got attention from the cops anymore. Most importantly, he and her son got along well. Something that would be the dream for anyone in her place. It seemed like he was able to push past a lot of his own trials and tribulations. Now she felt like she was another hurdle for him to overcome. Even with all his wonderful traits, her brain still tried to poke holes and find faults in him. She wasn't sure if there was something wrong with him or if it was just her way of justifying her own feelings. It's a question that tried to ask what emotion came first, to decipher a feeling that crept in so subtly as just a few raindrops which gradually became a storm. Was he just horrifically jealous, or was she just over him? Did his felony count as a major red flag, or was she just being judgmental over something that was a mistake? Were the comments he made overly possessive, or were her friends' old comments influencing her? Is his temper something that needed to be better controlled? Or did her dad just say that because he didn't like him? She didn't know which answer of these questions made her head ache more. She felt a hand come off the steering wheel and land on her thigh. Eyes flicked over to her as the red light helped slow everything down. She flashed a smile, one that threatened to waver when she noticed the music was quieter and could see the venue. Proceeded to make some small talk with her. While it was really nothing but noise, she'd still respond. Though she paid enough attention to continue without abnormalities, the rest of her mind just clawed and screamed. Wasn't sure if it was more upset at him or at herself for her hang-ups. She held his hand and felt like her skin was going to burn. Even with her mind's engine roaring so loud she could almost hear it, she still knew what she was going to end up doing. She'd do what she'd done when things were more normal. She'd smile about him when her friends asked how it went tonight. She'd reassure him when they stopped by her mom's house and thank her for helping them have a fun night out. She'll giggle when he would be kept up playing some ball game and inevitably tap out since he couldn't keep up with the energy of a kid. She'll kiss him goodnight and stay close when he falls asleep. When she does sleep, she'll try to forget how long she's done this without the heart it used to have.